BBC drama The Gold has been keeping viewers gripped with the series retelling the 1983 Brink's-Mat robbery. The world's biggest heist saw 3 tons of gold bullion stolen and most of it was never recovered. The show has a disclaimer at the start of each episode stating some characters and elements have been created or changed for dramatic purposes. Gold's writer Forsyth carried out meticulous research when it came to putting together the drama. Who are the real figures in The Gold? The majority of the characters in The Gold are real, but lawyer Edwin Cooper, played by Dominic Cooper, and policewoman Nikki Jennings, Charlotte Spencer, are fictitious figures. Both of them are composite characters based on several real-life people. Other fictional figures include Edwin's wife Isabel Cooper, Ruth Bradley, and his girlfriend Sienna Rose, Alora Torchia. Forsyth said about melding fact and fiction, he said, "With all our characters, it was about doing as much research as we could, speaking to those who had interactions with them and trying to be accurate with our portrayal within the boundaries of a dramatization." What happened to the other half of the Brink's-Mat Gold? On November 26, 1983, 3 tons of solid gold bullion was taken by 6 armed robbers from the Brink's-Mat security depot near Heathrow Airport. The criminals had been looking to do a run-of-the-mill heist when they stumbled across a much bigger prize of the gold, which was worth £26 million. But what exactly happened to the other half of the Brink's-Mat Gold? He went on to say about his research, "I spoke to a large number of people who were involved in the story in different ways. By and large, they were very open and happy to talk about their experiences. By far, the most important person that we tracked down and spoke to was Brian Boyce. It was very helpful getting his insight into the police investigation, and it made a big difference with us feeling we were getting the story right." On a second series of The Gold, Forsyth said there was more story to tell in the Brink's-Mat robbery but would have to wait and see if a renewal from the BBC was on the cards. Forsyth said there was a lot from the real-life robbery he wanted to include but couldn't due to the time constraints. But he and The Gold's researcher Thomas Turner have written a book about the Brink's-Mat robbery which shares a lot of what they discovered in the course of making the TV show but didn't make the final cut. Among the real-life figures in The Gold are Brian Boyce, Hugh Bonneville, Kenneth Noy, Jack Lowden, John Palmer, Tom Cullen, Marnie Palmer, Stephanie Martini, Tony Brightwell, Eamon Elliott, Mickey McAvoy, Adam Nagaitis, Jackie McAvoy, Lily Knight, Gordon Perry, Sean Harris, Jeannie Savage, Dorothy Atkinson, Brian Robinson, Frankie Wilson, Brian Reeder, James Nelson Joyce, and John Fordham, Hadley Fraser. Brian Boyce is a retired officer, who is now in his 80s and who spoke to both Forsyth and actor Bonneville, who played him in The Gold. Kenneth Noy is out of prison now and is apparently working on a book after previously being wary of journalists and the media. John Palmer was killed in his back garden in 2015 in an assassination-style death which remains unsolved. Marnie had 2 children with John and wrote about her marriage in her book Goldfinger and Me, Bullets, Bullion and Betrayal, John Palmer's true story, published in 2018. Don't miss. Vernon K. Snub as 90% say they want tune in without Ken Bruce. Latest, Prince Harry has put himself in danger and should miss coronation. Insight, Queen Camilla makes Antiques Roadshow history with rare find. Video, Tony Brightwell remained with the police for a while after Brink's-Mat but is thought to have moved into the private sector and worked for security firms. Mickey McAvoy moved to Spain after serving his sentence for Brink's-Mat and died in January this year. Gordon Perry served time for Brink's-Mat and is now said to be living in his 9-bedroom mock Tudor mansion in Kent with his wife Irene. John Fordham as depicted in The Gold. Fordham was stabbed to death by Noy on the criminal's grounds during a surveillance operation. The Gold airs on BBC One on Sundays at 9 p.m. and is streaming as a box set on the BBC iPlayer. The Gold, the real story behind Brink's-Mat by Neil Forsyth and Thomas Turner is out now. Ebury Spotlight.